perched high atop rolling hills, observing its peninsular domain, Larnach Castle might make you feel as if I was somewhere in Europe. But I'm not. I am still in New Zealand, still in Dunedin. This is Larnach Castle. We could have a castle anywhere in New Zealand. Why here? I mean, it can't just be for the gorgeous views, can it? Yes, actually, it is pretty much just for the gorgeous views. See, back in the 1860s, that's long before colour TV was invented, gold was discovered in Dunedin, Otago, and most of the Southland region. So, man of wealth and prestige, William Larnach decided to come here to gain his fortune because he was offered the position of manager of Dunedin's bank. Anyway, one day he and his son went on a horse ride around this peninsula because they wanted to set up the perfect location for a home for him and his family, his wife and 6 children. And they picked here. And I can't blame them, really. No.
So from here you should really take your time to tour the grounds with its really beautiful gardens and the castle itself with its immaculate interior, both of which have been reconstructed and are being kept by the Barker family, who purchased the castle and its 35-acre grounds that it sits upon back in 1967, some decades after the colour TV was invented. Now, for these nearly 60 years, the Barker family and the people they employ to work on the restoration of what was once an unkept, empty castle has now become a unique masterpiece, nearly fully restored to represent what it used to be, with a garden that has been listed as a garden of international significance by the New Zealand Garden Trust. They even opened up access to the top of the castle, with the original and slightly dangerous staircase to the top. It is one way only and rather thin, and can be a real pain to get down if it's busy.
Got very tiny steps, that's why it has that warning of be careful. And I'm wearing a backpack, that's a very bad idea.
Anyone coming up?
Yeah.
Yep, someone's coming.
See, it's only one way, so it's either everyone's coming up or everyone's going down, right? And do not wear a backpack going up here. No.
But you can't deny that view. Now the question is, if they had to work so hard to get it to the state it is, and it's not even yet finished, why did it become so bad in the first place?
So as life often brings us, there was a lot of tragedy to come. To start, William's wife passed away. He would eventually move on and remarry his wife's half-sister, which does sound a bit like a Greek myth, and it almost is, because she too would move on from this mortal world, and he would eventually then remarry a younger woman. But don't worry, she was fine, as far as we know. Unfortunately, the curse passed on to one of his daughters. At 20 years old, well, she didn't make it. And I think this was too much for poor William, because he, after that third horrendous event, decided to voluntarily stop waking up in the morning for all eternity. And unfortunately for the castle, he did so in interstate. So So of course, with all of this and no will to say who it all goes to, there was a lot of infighting among the leftover family about what would happen with this. And in 1906, it was sold off. And that's when this castle decided to have the weirdest life. For the next 70 years, Larnach Castle was exchanged from hand to hand, becoming a variety of different institutions. It started as a vacation home for nuns. It then moved on to being a mental asylum. Then, quickly, to a hospital for shell-shocked soldiers. And then it turned into a barracks of sorts for soldiers. Two different time periods. Pretty sure it was World War I and II. Then it became an antique showground. And the ballroom became a pen for sheep. And over these 70 years, it wasn't well maintained. It suffered a lot of damage and was very close to just getting bulldozed and having the stones sold for profit. Until 1969, when a remarkable family made it their generational mission to restore it, to restore Larnach Castle and its 35 acres to its former glory. Possibly even greater glory. They have amazing staff working all the time, keeping everything in order. And let me tell you, this has become a huge tourist attraction. I was about to say that I've seen at least 9 tour buses today. It is currently about 12:20 on a Tuesday. But I can now say 10 because another one just drove past. Big tour bus. Some are smaller, but you know, some of them are the proper big ones. A lot of tourists. I really wanted to take a video inside, but there were just so many people in there all the time, I couldn't. And that's not out of anger or anything, that's just because this place is that amazing. I don't know how much a tour would cost, and I assume it will get you multiple places around Dunedin and Otago. But if you're coming here, it is $45 for an adult for entry to the gardens and the castle. And really, if you're going to come here, you want to see the castle. The gardens are great, absolutely, but the castle is literally one of a kind in New Zealand. Gardens, well, we've seen a lot of gardens, but you come here for the castle, and it's worth it. And if you really wanted the experience of staying on the site, well, unfortunately, you can't stay in the castle. You can stay in one of these rooms here, or you can stay in a stable. Yeah, there's about 7 rooms in there, and dining. So if you want to know what it's like to be a horse, a royal horse, there you go. That'll do it for you. So thanks to one man who desired to have the perfect home for his family in the perfect location in Dunedin, and also to thank you to the Baker family for fixing it all and restoring it after all these years, because now everyone in the world can have a chance to know what it felt like to be a bank manager in the 1860s. And that's just something you can't get anywhere else. Let me tell you, it feels pretty good. Also, buy souvenirs and like and subscribe, please. Please, I'm begging. I'll give you my souvenirs. No, I won't, that's a lie. Anyway, ka kite ana. Look at all the tourist vans and buses. That's not even all of them. Also, I'm very lost. This isn't how I get to my car. What the hell? Well, that's just darn creepy.